oh my, hey, hey, hey.
University
You gotta be.
That's right. Good morning, University Singers.
Morning, Hallie. All right, guess what? Thanks again for always being with us. Thank you very much for choosing us. And head over there on, are we back on YouTube on the old channel or no? CVM TV, CVM News, if you want to watch us on YouTube. But of course, we're right here on CVM TV. It's now time to jump into World Teachers Day. World Teachers Day. And today we have the pleasure of welcoming Miss Tiffany Copes, the founder and principal of Think Educational Services. Miss Copes, thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
All right, Miss Copes is going to be sharing insights on what true collaboration looks like in early childhood and special education, how it helps to bridge learning gaps, and why stronger partnerships between educators and families are so important. First of all, early childhood is such an important stage in the educational, in the education system. I mean, yes, we're coming from a time when there were many well-intentioned Anticheria, Miss Blossom, and basic schools, maybe in a church, in the community. But in many instances, it's possible that the way children were introduced to the education system turn them off from math or turn them off from sciences or something else for life. How are we correcting that?
So now we are looking at the whole child. We are seeking to develop them in a way that they can learn on their own by exploring and experiments and by looking at how they learn. So we're not just a one-size-fits-all. It's knowing how this child learns and how I can really supplement that and how I can really encourage them to love learning, because learning is fun. And that's what we do. I think we try to make learning as fun and as interactive as possible.
So tell me the cohort of students to whom you cater. And one of the things now, especially with early childhood education, how early is too early, Auntie? Because some parents are sending out the children now at 18 months, at 2 years, some at 3 years. When should parents be really starting that early childhood education?
So for me, early childhood education starts at home.
Very well.
So I think we take them at 2 years old. So my age range would be between 2 and 6 years. So I prepare them to go into preparatory or primary. For me, at 2, it's a good stage. They're pretty moldable at that time. They're excited, although in the first few weeks we do have a lot of crying and the separation. And
from both parents and children.
And the parents are crying.
More from the
parents. I just know it.
But by the 3rd week, they're by mommy, because they are now immersed in learning and immersed in love. And now they have a chance to have community and a social life, and they have friends. And it's very exciting. So at 2 years old, it's a good time to send them out, and it really encourages them to love learning from early on.
I always get requests for recommendations. What do you think? I'm looking for somewhere to send my 2-year-old, but I'm nervous because you want to make the right choice. Like, as a parent, you're afraid, could I be making the wrong choice that causes irreparable damage? What would you say sets Think apart and makes you the person who, when they ask me, I need to say, you need to consider Think. You need to think about Think.
So the first thing is that we are a bit non-traditional. And so when you send your child at Think, understand that they are going to be thinking on their own, that they are going to be discovering things that they like about themselves, their talent from pretty early on. And also it's a safe environment with loving aunties and loving staff that of course will allow them to enjoy the experience. Also the way that we communicate with our parents, the updates that you will get, the curriculum that we use that's very explorative, will really Think in a way that you want to also tell your friends and your aunties, because Think is the place to send your child if you want a holistic experience.
Where are you located?
So we are off Malines Road, Forest Series Road. A wonderful location, very central, for especially those working parents.
Some school, look here, I can't let you escape without asking. Some school good for girl, you know. But boy pick me.
Well,
Like, you know, they don't teach how boys learn. You can't send your boy picnic anywhere because you got him run up and down too much. You got ear saying bad.
Rude, yeah. When it's not rude,
Everything
yeah.
is rude.
Yeah.
Everything is rude.
Well, Think Educational Services, we have a diverse set of learners, and we do cater to neurodivergent learners.
I was about to ask, yes.
So, with that, boys are nothing for us to handle because we have our students who need a little bit more, and we cater to them. We have created plans just for them, and so we know how they learn.
Do you have the beginning of, for instance, assessments to determine if they're on the spectrum?
If they're on the spectrum. So they will come in with an assessment. Sometimes it takes a long time for them to get the assessment, but we still cater for them. We do our own assessments, and I can honestly say that we've seen so much growth and improvements, and the parents are loving what we are doing, I think.
Let me also ask, because you mentioned, you know, special needs, and there is a variety of those, you know, needs that parents have. So, for example, today is Cerebral Palsy Day, right? And acknowledging that, does Think cater to children with cerebral palsy? What other types? Neurodivergence, you know, the ADHD and the ADD and stuff like that. But what about even physical disability? A child who may be wheelchair bound? Does your institution cater for children?
So
like
we
that?
have in the past, but currently we have mostly intellectual disabilities. So mostly ADHD, autism, developmental delay, because sometimes we mistake autism for a developmental delay.
And sometimes you just have a neurodivergence that makes you not good at math, for instance. You have challenges with numbers. Is that a life sentence, or do you try to bring them up?
I try to bring them up, and one of the things too is that Think is not in the business of keeping a child in special education. So once they come into the program, our main goal is to get them out of the program, is to get them in the class that they're supposed to be in with their parents, and we've been able to do that. And it's a joy to see when my babies kind of graduate from special education and they're now in kindergarten 2 or 3, and they're reading. And when you come in to Think, you really can't tell which student is what, because they're all playing together, and it's just a beautiful experience.
How long have you been about?
So I've been about for about 5 years. I was in the regular system. I'm a bit unconventional. Some people might say, don't listen, you know, it's difficult, and I'm difficult because I know that there are other ways to deal with things, and I'm creative, and
you're thinking outside the box.
Thinking outside the box, and I really want to make a difference, and so making and creating Think Educational Services has been an amazing journey, and I'm very happy for all the lives that we've touched.
One of the things, you know, Dennis, and I want to ask Auntie how she cope with this part, in terms of some persons get into the teaching profession just seeing it as a stepping stone or as a way to earn. But I think that teaching is one of those professions that it's a calling, right?
It is.
And so it's not for everyone. And so you have some people who you take your children to school and entrust your children to them, but then they're not very nice, you know. They dim the children, them like Pitney, they dim the children's light, they treat them badly, and they bully children as well, right? How does Think ensure that your cohort, your staff, complement, loves children and treats children well? And if they don't, how do you hold them accountable?
So my staff, I'm sure that they're smiling for this question. Think was built specifically to build children. And based on my personality and my love of children, because all my siblings are teachers.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so my mother really did a good one and a big one.
Hey, Mommy.
She contributed to the education system.
She has 3 children and we're all teachers.
Wow, amazing.
So it started from there. It started from the church. I love children, and when we're doing our interview process, it's very rigorous, and all of these questions are asked, and you come and you do your trainings and your workshops even before you start, and we hold you accountable because this is a brand. I've started from the ground up, and I will not let anyone dim the light of think. And so if you are not in accordance to our values, then you definitely have to be through the door.
Very well. Well, what do you think? I mean, today is International Teachers Day. What would you like to say to, you know, just all the teachers, and as well as a mommy looking on or a daddy looking on, why should they choose your institution as the institution of choice for their little one?
So the first thing is, thank you to all the teachers out there. It's a hard job, and if you're in it for the love, thank you so much, because we really need great educators, especially with so many of them migrating and taking their talents elsewhere. Thank you so much for sticking and staying with us, because as Jamaicans, we really want to save a little bit for us. We don't want to give away all our talents. And so thank you for staying. And for all the parents who are thinking which school to send your child, Think Educational Services is definitely that place. If you want an outspoken and a quick thinker, and you want to be exposed to activities, Think Educational Services is that place. We are the epitome of love and care.
And where are you located again?
4 Ceres Road, off Malines.
4 Ceres?
Yes. Sayres.
Oh, okay. And are you online? And by the way, when are you taking your... Is Think, by the way, one of those institutions where...
From your
pregnant, register? I hear about these embassy lives, Dennis. I'm like, oh my God.
The good thing about it is that I started with 7 students, and now we have a cohort of 70 students.
What's the class size?
So 10 students.
Oh, 10 students per auntie. Okay,
Yes.
not bad.
Yes.
And when are you taking your next registration?
So we have registration going on for January.
Okay, so right now, are you online?
Yes, so we're on Instagram, and of course our number is 452-2729. You can send us a message, and we'll definitely answer.
All right. So what do you think about that, Dennis?
If I had one of that age, I would definitely sending him or her to think.
Yes. Think on these things. Our guest has been Tiffany Copes, the principal and founder of Think Educational Services. It's time for another break and more Sunrise. We have lots more coming up, so please stay tuned. Stay with us right here on CVM.
Teach them how to spell.